Hello. With this video, I'm going to show how to do the basic drafting using coordinates assignment. So for this one, we don't have to use the JPT template. We can just go ahead and jump right into a regular template. But if you use the JPT template, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to be using the output tabs though. So no need for any of those. This video is just really going to focus on how to draw with the line tool. There are several ways to draw with the line tool. And the way we've been doing it so far is that, we'll press L, enter, and then we'll place the line somewhere. Usually we've been putting it on the origin, which of course was 0, 0, enter. Right, so that's sort of pins down. It sort of staples down one end of the line and then puts the other end of the line on your mouse. And then what we've been doing is pulling our mouse in some direction and then typing in a number and pressing enter. For example, I'll pull the mouse to the right of the origin. So this is now along the red X line, and I can do 20, enter, and that made a 20-inch line along the red line. And then I could go up from there and I could do 20 again, and then to the left and do 20 again, and then down and do 20. And of course that would be a square made out of lines. And that's just pulling the mouse in a direction and then saying, go in that direction for as much as I type. Now that's useful if you have something to reference from, if you have somewhere to place your mouse down and pull it in a direction that you want to go. But sometimes that's not always the most useful thing. Sometimes you want to draw based on the coordinates that are on this grid. So there are two ways to do that. It's still going to start in the same way, of course. We're going to do L, enter. And then here what we could do is 5, 5, enter. And now, instead of worrying about where my mouse is pointed, I can go ahead and type in some coordinates. And there's two ways to do that. And it's using two different symbols, right? So if you notice where your numbers are on your keyboard, there's some symbols along with that, right? The exclamation point is under the number 1. The @ sign is under the number 2, and so on. So if I use the @ sign, right? So I hold the shift key and then press 2. That's going to put the @ symbol into the box where we normally type our numbers. So let me show that one more time. So it's going to be L, enter, 0, 0, enter. Oh, sorry. L, enter, 5, 5, enter. Hold the shift and press 2. And now, if you look right here, specify next point, and now I have the @ symbol here, and then a number, right? So with the @ symbol, if I do 0, 6, enter, you'll notice that I now got a line, and it wasn't where I was holding my mouse. I was holding my mouse somewhere random on my screen. I think somewhere around here. And it didn't do that angle, right? And the reason why it didn't is because of that symbol that I put in, which means what we did from there was we said, well, the 0 was we don't want to go left or right at all, but we will go up 6 units or 6 inches in this case. And now we can do the same thing. And if I do @ 15, 0, and then press enter, that was the same thing. We said this time we want to go 15 units to the right, but we don't want to go up or down. That's what the 0 was. And 15, because it was positive 15, we went to the right. If we had done negative 15, we would have gone to the left. And now if I want to end up back where I was, but going down, all I would have to do, shift 2, 0, and now negative 6, because instead of going up, I want to go down. Enter. And then enter to close the line tool. And that's it. So now we got this basic shape, which is shown in the exercise screenshot. Now I have a similar one right next to it in the exercise screenshot where I basically do the same thing. I go up, right, and then down. But this time what I want to do is I want to show it us doing it in a different way using a different symbol. So here, the units that we were doing, the units that we were putting in were not the literal units, right? Because while 5, 5 is there, 0, -6, or 0, 6 rather, is right here. Because that would be 0 on the X line and 6 up here on the green line. So it'd be touching the green line. And then 15, 0 would be there. And then 0, -6 would be like way down there. So we didn't do the actual coordinates that they are on the grid. Instead, what we did was we put in what's called relative units, meaning relative to our last location, where do we want to go? Well, 0 left and right, but positive X, which is up. Positive 15, which is to the right, and 0 up and down. And then 0 left and right, but down 6, which was where we got that -6 from, right? So now I'm going to do, and if I do that, I'll just do this really quick. I'll delete this. And just to prove that, I'll go ahead and do all those same numbers, but this time, L enter. I'll hold the shift key and press 3, which puts a sort of hashtag or pound sign in that first box. But now if I type all of the same numbers, right, 5, 5, enter, hashtag or pound sign, 0, 6, enter, hashtag 15, 0, enter, hashtag 0, -6, enter to close the line tool. And there we are. This is the same 3 numbers, but this time we put them exactly where they go on our coordinate system, and we got a much, much different result, right? So what would we have to type in order to get this shape if we were using the exact coordinates? Well, for that, we just have to think about where we are and where we would be on the grid if we were to type in those actual numbers. So I'm just going to draw the same shape, but to the right. So this time I'll enter, and instead of 5, 5, what I will do is I'll do 5, 25, enter. I'm sorry, other way around. I'll enter 25, 5, enter. And that will put us in the same position, left and right. I'm sorry, in the same position up, but much further to the right. That's what the 25 was. Okay. So one more time, L enter, 25, 5, enter. And now shift 3 to get the hashtag or pound sign. And where do we want to go? We want to go 6 units up, but stay in the same position on the XY line, right? On the X line, sorry, but change Y by 6. So since X is the first number, we're still only going to stay at 5, comma, and now where do we want to go? Since we're still at 5, we want to go up to, I'm sorry, I'm just realizing this is still 25x, comma, there we go. Now, how high do we want to go? Well, right now we're at 5, but we want to increase that by 6. So that would be 11. Enter. So now we're at 25, 11. Well, the next number is going to be along the X line, 25 plus 15, right? 25 plus 15. So shift 3. That first number is 25 plus 15. So that's going to be 40, comma. And then the same number that we just had before, because it's the same height, 11. Enter. And now we want to go down. We want to go down So we're still at 40. Shift 3, 40, comma. We want to go back down 6. So we're just going to take 6 from 11, and that gives us back the 5 we had before. And press enter. And enter again, close the line tool. So now you can see that that was very different in terms of what we typed from the first time. And if I scroll back into the history of AutoCAD here, which is over here, I can see what those numbers were, right? 25.5, 25.11, 40.11, and then 40.5, which is very different from the first numbers that I had, right? Which was 5.5. Then here, because we were using relative coordinates, we had 0.6. And here was 15.0. And here was 0.6. And this was all using the @ symbol. But then when we switched that, and the @ symbol, of course, represents, sorry, let me just put this, relative units. Where on the right, I had this position here, which was 25.5. And then when we went up, we went to the exact position of this, which was 25.11, to the exact position of this, which was 40.11, 25 plus 15. And then we ended up at the end here at 40.5. All of this we did by using the pound sign, which represents in AutoCAD absolute units. All right, so once you're done with that and you understand the way that works, you could just go ahead and click on the word top on the view cube. There you go. Make sure that you are signed in to AutoCAD so that I can see that this is you turning this assignment in, and take a full screen screenshot so that I see everything, your name up here, what you drew, and the time down at the bottom right in order to get full credit. All right. Hope this video helped you to submit this assignment, and I will see you in the next one.